We are now joined here at the broadcast table by the head coach of the Spiders, Aaron Roussel. Another victory for the Spiders that push the team to a 25-5 overall record, 16-1 in conference play. But this was a game that was a grind, Aaron. And it's defensively, we talked about this pregame. Davidson very good beyond the arc, inside, everywhere. What challenges did they present to you, especially late in the ballgame?
The physicality. I think we knew how physical they were, especially on the defensive end coming into it. We've played them before, so our kids know, and it's one thing to talk about, expect physicality, and then it's another thing to go against it, And so I think we've seen some of this, whether it's the late in the non-conference, I felt like teams were kind of trying to take away the arc and being a little more physical, figure some things out, and I think those games help prepare us for these type of games. But we weren't perfect today. It wasn't, always the most visual, appealing game. But that's what Davidson does, right? In a good way. Like, they're going to make you grind it out. It's going to be tough to get baskets, whether it's at the arc or at the rim. Thought they played hard. They played well. They had a great game plan. I just thought that was a little bit of a toughness win, and I thought our defense was really great, especially there at the end.
The end was impressive, not just defensively, but offensively. You closed on an 11-0 run. It was a 2-point game, and then you went on an 11-0 run to finish the game. Maybe your reflections on those last couple of minutes?
Well, if I remember it right, and I don't remember which timeout it was, maybe the media timeout where it was 46-43, and they had some momentum. And I know we had taken a timeout maybe in there at one stretch too, but just the calmness, from our staff and from our players. I think that's what I look back and remember it. And it was like, all right, are we too calm right now? You never know, right? Like, are we just, I don't think we're going to lay down, but are we too calm? But I just felt we were very, very focused. I think we came out of there running something that, just their physicality on the switches. You try to get a slip there, and it wasn't there. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was one that we had Anna over here on the post move, and she did what she's, when she's great, she's able to finish around the basket like that. I thought that was a huge basket. I thought her minutes tonight were huge. On both ends of the floor. A little bit of that was protecting Dugan with the early foul trouble. But I think Maggie, came up and said, hey, that wasn't my best game. And we don't always need your best game, and I think a little bit of that was seeing how the game was officiated. I think you all saw it. We all saw it in that second half. They were trying to attack Maggie. They're just trying to get her out of the game. And, only playing 25 minutes is probably not what she wanted coming into it. But I thought her 25 minutes were better than she gave herself credit for.
Of course.
A 15-game win streak, and a 24-game home conference win streak that goes back a couple of years. It's really easy in a difficult league to have a bad game, to lose one here or there, but you haven't done that in the last 15 games. What has been helpful to help stay focused on the job at hand over these last couple of months?
Again, I think the players that we have, and obviously we have some older kids and that have been through this. Addie especially been through it with me. The times that I need to calm down, she can kind of give me either the eye roll of like, I'm not listening to you anyway, or just kind of calm down a little bit. But I have to come back to it, man. I think that non-conference stretch did everything that we asked it to do. The toughness. You're not going to go against the SEC and be whining about the physicality here. Right. So we had been through those grinds. The Georgetown game even. I think that's one that we all begged that we could have back, the Fordham game. But we've seen what teams have done, especially these last 4 games with the physicality. And our kids, I think, are at that point that they welcome that, And I think it does open up some things that maybe we didn't realize it would late in the non-conference, and especially these last few games. And going against Davidson the first time, like, you see some things that they're taking away. It's still going to open up some things for you. And I think it's an opportunistic group. I also know that we didn't play our best. I think we're going to look at some stuff at the basket and realize that maybe we could have had some, a bigger lead. I thought even at the end of the first quarter, right, it's 13-5, and like, man, we played some really outstanding defense, and it's one of those that you're like, all right, was this one of those that we let something get away?
Sure.
Only being up 8. You want to have at least a double-digit lead right there. But, kind of coming back to your question, like we just have strong players that have been through the grinds, both this season and other seasons. There's a lot of trust there, and we still have good players, right? We have a system that you can still knock down threes. We sat here and said, hey, threes are going to be hard to come by today. Mm-hmm. I think we shot better from 3 than we did from 2 points, 2-point percentage today. So it was a physical game. We had to battle through it, but I thought our defense was great, and I thought just our mindset and composure was outstanding today.
This was the final home game for your seniors, and especially for Addie Budnick, who mentioned that before today's game, she was scrolling on her Instagram and seeing the memories of her first year here on campus, and then the growth that she has had throughout her tenure. But a lot of people see her for the great player that she is. What does she mean to you?
Man, you got me. Just a special player, a special kid. I mean, she's meant everything to me, our program, her teammates. Like she's one of one, And so, you talk about the win streak, right? You talk about the standings. You talk about at large. You talk about all these things. Like, I just didn't want their last memory here to be a loss, And she's been through so much. All of these seniors have been through so much. I just kept telling myself, if I didn't sleep a whole lot this week, but just no matter what, I'm not looking at those kids and letting them walk off this court with a loss in their last game. And just happy for that. And again, I know the win streak was great. I don't even think it dawned on me until the question was asked after the VCU game. The home winning streak meant something. The going undefeated in the conference last year, going undefeated in the conference this year. We've just built such a relationship and such a great fan support here that I just didn't want that vibe. I didn't want that last thing for so many of these kids to remember was them walking off the floor with any sort of defeated mindset. So happy for them that they got that. You got me, man. I wasn't expecting that, but it's a special group, and I think you guys know that. And sometimes your job is hard, right? You got to hold people accountable. You got to push buttons when they don't want to be pushed, and you got to get some dirty looks, and you got to get some things that you're going to laugh at down the road. But it's a really, really great group, and just happy to have this memory today.
Yep.
Well, it's a special group, and Addie's a remarkable player, as so many of the others are. We haven't said yet, there's more ball to play, we know that. But congratulations on an A-10 regular season title.
Yep.
I mean, that's a remarkable accomplishment 2 years in a row. And yes, more basketball to play, absolutely. Yeah. But that's an accomplishment already at this point in the season.
Absolutely. And I think it's one of those things, it's like you want to win the thing and secure it as early as you can. I don't know if anybody expected with the quality of teams this year and the strength of schedule that we had, especially down the road, that you're going to get to a game, and these games still matter. I think our players know that our games matter. But to have the #1 seed secured, we said that going into it. We want to be in that locker room at Henrico. We want to wear white. We want to have the path that we had last year, and to have that and to have it secured, I think so many other people outside of our program were worried about our focus and worried about things. I told our kids on Sunday, man, you got to celebrate that. You got to win the conference title, have it secured, the #1 seed at VCU. Like, are you kidding me? This is great. You get all of this stuff. But yeah, they're mature enough that we told them they could celebrate that and still come back and be ready for the task at hand today, which was going to be a monumentally tough task, and they proved to us that it was today. And we all know that we get another big one on Saturday.
Another big one on Saturday against St. Joseph's. Coach, thanks so much for the time.
All right, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really appreciate it, guys. Y'all have been great.
Another win for the Richmond three-pointers. Thanks for coming over and talking with us. Have you calmed down a little bit after that thrilling win?
Yeah, adrenaline's a bit high right now, but no, that's a really good win for us. Davidson's a really good team, so definitely not our cleanest game. Like, I gave up a ton of O-boards, made a ton of mistakes, but in the end, we got the win. Wins are really hard to come around this time of year, so we're going to take it, we're going to learn from it, and we're excited for this weekend.
What did you see early on from Davidson? Because when we noticed the numbers coming in, their three-point defense is phenomenal this year. Yeah. What was it like on the floor for you in that early matchup?
Yeah, I mean, they switch everything defensively, so they're trying to take away the arc. That's what they do. They do that every year, and they're really good at it. They're also a super physical team, so we knew it was going to be a battle. They were out there denying a lot of our sets, so we had to adjust. We had a few turnovers here and there, but we were able to learn from it, adjust in-game, and eventually take out the win. So,
Addie, there's so many excellent scorers on this team. It's so well balanced, and so many people can score in a lot of different ways. And it seems like you do a really good job of sensing when you need to score and when you don't. And maybe think about those three really important three-pointers that you made today. Yeah. What were you thinking in terms of your role in the game at that point?
Yeah, I mean, I think I started off the game like 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 or something, but just keeping shooting. I know I'm a good shooter. I know they're eventually going to fall, and especially in this kind of game where threes are hard to come by, we got to take the open ones. That's how our offense works. We're not made to pass up shots. So my teammates have faith in me to keep shooting, and then obviously, like, I'm surrounded by really good players. Maggie's incredible, Allie's incredible, Rachel's great. Like, they're really good scorers, and I don't need to be taking 1,000 shots every night. So I'm just doing whatever I need to, letting the game come to me, and really excited to keep it going.
That last
remarkable. Go ahead.
That last three-pointer that you had was a handoff pass from Maggie Dugan.
Yeah.
But talking about the defensive play after that pass, she kind of lowered her body and then shifted over to the defender to get that open opportunity for you.
Yeah, I mean, Maggie's, I think, leading our team in assists right now. So she's really good at finding opportunities for herself, but also finding opportunities for her teammates. So she made the right read. We do that all the time in practice, in position breakdown, just reading the dribble handoffs. If they're going under, we're shooting it. And she read them well. She used her body, and I was able to shoot it, and it went in.
And there's that three-pointer
Yeah,
that
if
we
you
were
want
talking
to take a look at it, we just showed it there. Hey, Maggie, congratulations. This team has won the A10 regular season championship.
Yes.
It's a remarkable accomplishment. And yet, there's a lot of really important basketball to play. In this now 15-game win streak, how have you all stayed so focused throughout these 15 games?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us really knew what our win streak was going into this. We're trying not to think about that, just focusing on the next game ahead, just the next play, next possession. That's what he talks about a lot, just winning each possession, and then from there they're going to stack on top of each other into games, into multiple games, all of that. So just keeping that mindset, especially going into conference when we know, or conference tournament when we know every game's going to be a battle. We're going to have to win every possession, show up from the start. I know we dragged a little bit the past couple of games, so that's going to be super important for us.
Addie, thanks so much for the time. Congratulations on the win and 15 points this evening.
Yes, thank you guys.
Congratulations.
And thank you guys for everything. Last home game. So.
Last home game. Oh, it's your
know,
last
I
home
know.
game.
I know.
Oh, no, we can't leave you. It's your last home game.
Yeah.
5 years
I
here.
know.
You're the number 3 leading scorer in
Yeah.
the history of Richmond women's basketball. You in blocks. Maybe could you just share for a moment what that must be like here in your last home game?
I mean, it's definitely surreal. It feels like a long time, but at the same time, I feel like I blinked and it's all gone. This morning, I went back on the Instagram and found some photos from our first home game here ever, and it's so funny to see the growth, just physically, but also mentally. I feel like I'm a whole nother person, and I'm just so grateful for every opportunity this place has brought me. The people, you guys, I'm incredibly grateful for you. You guys show up for us every single game, every day. So just so grateful for everyone, and hopefully we can bring home another championship this year.
Well, quickly, on behalf of Spiders everywhere, thank you for the remarkable career you've had at Richmond.
Thank you.
Yes.
I mean, you go down as one of the greatest women's basketball players here ever, and it's been just wonderful to watch you over the last 5 years.
Thank
so
you. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Addie. Congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way.